This entire base started as a simple 2x1, but after a few smart expansions, it evolved into the strongest solo base I've ever built. The main entrance is fully automated. It opens when I walk up and closes the moment I step inside or leave. Above it, a hidden wall of shotgun traps prevents door campers from even getting close to the door. On both sides of the base, you'll find automated garages. Ride home with a horse or a bike and the doors open instantly, no stopping, no dismounting. And once you're inside, they shut themselves to keep everything safe. And if I'm leaving on foot through the main door, one switch disables the garage automation so the inside never gets exposed accidentally. Above each garage is a fully equipped bedroom. Bed, locker, spare sets, and a 100% comfort bear rug, so I can fully heal between fights. Both bedrooms connect into the same upper airlock, a central hub that links the garages, the bedrooms, the window room, and the rooftop. From this airlock, you can jump up to the roof, a 42-plant automated garden with sprinklers and 4 rain catchers, surrounded by inverted roof pieces that make it impossible to ladder up. The whole top acts as a safe minicopter landing pad with full visibility of the area. Back inside the hub, another airlock leads into the room above the core. Here you'll find all the tools you actually use, a repair bench with storage for mats, a research table with its own scrap box, and even a barbecue with a supply box for cooking. Only after passing through these protected rooms and airlocks do you reach the actual 2x1 core, your furnaces, TC, workbench slot, storage shelf, and lighting controls. Every path in this base is engineered with tight angles, jump-ups, and hidden shotgun traps that punish raiders at every step. And the upkeep for everything you're seeing is only 5,000 stone, 800 metal, and a little wood per day. So let's build this beast. Before we continue, a quick word from our only sponsor. That is you! These videos take weeks to plan, build, record, and edit. But you know what takes just a few seconds? Leaving a like and subscribing. It's completely free and it genuinely motivates me to make more content like this. And if you want to go one step further, you can drop a super thanks or join the channel as a member. It really helps. Alright, let's get back to the build. For the first step, you will need to gather 3,000 wood. Then you have to craft a hammer from the Tools tab, a building plan, a tool cupboard, a key lock, a wood double door, and another key lock from the Construction tab. Once done, equip the building plan and switch to Foundation. Place down just one and upgrade it to wood. Next, switch to a wall, add 3 on top of the foundation and upgrade them as well. Then switch to floor and add it as the room ceiling. After upgrading it, switch to wall frame and add it to the last foundation edge. Don't forget to upgrade this one as well. At this point, it is time to place the TC. It is really important to fit it perfectly in the left inner corner. To do so, hold Shift to enable snapping along the walls and move the mouse close to the corner. Once done, secure it with a key lock. Finally, add the double door and secure it with a key lock as well in order to finish the starter one by one. Don't forget to leave some wood inside the TC to prevent your base from crumbling while you expand it. You also can leave your tools inside as well to minimize the losses if someone kills you while farming. This base won't be marked in the map until you get down a sleeping bag. Therefore, to prevent forgetting where you build at, open the map pressing the G key and right-click on your location signed with a yellow dot. This will tag the location on the map. Now click on top of it with the left mouse button to open the customization of the tag. Choose the home icon, change colors if you want, and click Apply. As a result, this marker will be added to your compass and you will be able to see it from any part of the map, allowing you to easily reach your base if you get killed. To extend your base into a 2x1, you will need 1,500 wood. This will allow you to add the second squared foundation and upgrade it. To the right from the door, add a wall and another one in front of it. After upgrading this too, switch to a floor to add the room ceiling and finally place a wall frame in the last slot. Once upgraded, craft a double door and a lock. Use them to seal off your new room. Until you can farm more, this will work as an airlock to your TC. But before starting building furniture, I suggest you collect 1,000 wood. This will allow you to add a triangle foundation in front of the door, a wall that you have to place to the right from the entrance, a triangle floor to create the roof above, and a wall frame to allow you to place another double door. Upgrade everything to wood. Craft a double door and a key lock. Then finally place them down to create the actual airlock of your 2x1. At this point, you will need some basic furniture. For this, you need to gather 800 wood and 30 cloth. With these resources from the Items tab, craft a sleeping bag and 8 wood storage boxes. Inside the TC room, using snapping to wall, place the sleeping bag attached to the right side of the door, followed by 2 boxes attached to the bag. Don't forget to use the R button in order to rotate them before placing them. In the other room, start placing down boxes along the wall. You will need to rotate the last one to fit it in. Add 2 more in front of the first 2 and the last one in front of the left row. This placement will allow you to easily navigate between the loot and the TC room without needing to crouch jump. For the next step, you have to gather almost 3,400 stone. You will need it in order to upgrade your base into stone. In order to upgrade the door frame, you will need to hold the E button while the door is open, then use the unlock option. Using the same button, you will be able to remove the key lock. Finally, with your hammer equipped, using again the E button will allow you to pick up the door. Without the door, the frame is exposed, allowing you to upgrade it to stone. Don't forget to place the door back down and lock it again. Repeat this process until your base is fully upgraded. This upgrade will prevent eco-raids through your walls with easily found and crafted early game tools. Also, it will force raiders to go through doors in case they lay hands on flammable items like fire arrows. Once done, don't forget to deposit a stack of stone in the TC for upkeep in order to avoid the walls from taking damage. For the next step, you need to gather 50 low-grade fuel, 100 wood, and 200 stone. Then in the Items tab, craft a furnace. Using the snapping button, place it as close as possible to the TC. This will allow you to finally start producing some metal fragments. Also, while the furnace is smelting, it will provide you with 50% comfort that will restore your health until 81 points if your calories are above 100. Now you need 500 wood and 100 metal fragments. Use them in order to craft a workbench level 1 from the Items tab. If you placed everything using snapping, you can use the same function to fit perfectly the workbench to the right from the TC. For the next base upgrade, you will need to use the workbench in order to learn how to craft some salvage shelves. Once done, craft one from the Items tab using some of the metal fragments you got from your furnace. Also, you have to gather 1000 wood and 200 metal. This will allow you to make 4 large wood boxes. Now, pick up the 6 small boxes you have in your loot room and store them for future base upgrades. Keep in mind that you won't be able to pick up the boxes that have some items inside. So loot or throw the items on the ground while upgrading this room. After that, place the shelf you crafted before attached to the wall using snapping. Unfortunately, the snapping doesn't work on the shelf. So you have to crouch in front of the furnace and try to perfectly place the box as close as possible to the wall, manually. After that, you have to remove the TC room door and pick up the sleeping bag. This will allow you to place down the second box after rotating it. Now, jump on top of your furnace while crouched and place the other 2 large boxes on top of the shelf, the same exact way. Finally, place back down your sleeping bag and the door. Both can be placed even with some overlapping with the boxes. While placing down the door, keep in mind that for better navigation it is best to place them the way that they open toward the TC. To maximize your storage, you will need 250 wood and 50 metal fragments in order to craft another large wood box. Replace the 2 small wood boxes between your sleeping bag and workbench. Finally, to complete your core you need 50 low-grade fuel, 100 wood, and 200 stone. This will allow you to craft the second furnace. Place it in front of the other one. If it won't allow you, even while using snapping, remove the door, and in case this won't help, this means that your bottom large box you positioned manually is not placed correctly. The best way to approach this issue is to place down the furnace first, using snapping. Then try to change locations of both boxes on the lower side of the shelf. Finally, place back the door and the sleeping bag if you had to tweak the box's position. Don't forget to fix your boxes in case you had to reposition them with your hammer, some wood, and metal fragments. Before thinking about the first expansion, use your 2 furnaces to quickly smelt some metal. You will need 200 fragments for each sheet metal double door. This is needed to replace your 3 wooden doors you placed so far. That is really important in order to avoid being raided by a random neighbor that just unlocked fire arrows or molotovs. Keep in mind that replacing doors will add some metal fragments to your upkeep, and you need to have some in your TC to prevent the doors from decaying. Finally, your 2x1 is done and it's time for the first expansion. For this you need to collect 750 wood, 400 metal fragments, and 3,300 stone. Start from triangle foundations. Place one in front of the entrance and another one to link it to the wall. Upgrade them both to stone, then switch to walls. Place them on the external edges of both triangle foundations. After upgrading both to stone, turn around the walls you placed from outside in order to keep the soft side facing your base. Now switch to the triangle floor and add it in front of the entrance door. Upgrade it to stone and turn around. Select the half wall and place it between the two foundations. This will allow you to place a triangle floor half height above the second foundation. Now from the Upgrade tab you will have to destroy the half wall while upgrading the floor to stone. As a result, you can get to your roof while crouch jumping. This in Rust is called a jump up or jump down, based from where you are passing through. At this point, jump down from the opposite edge of your roof and turn around. Switch to foundation. Place one attached to the main 2x1 and upgrade it to stone. Then use a roof, rotate it, and you will be able to place it above the foundation. Upgrade it to stone to prevent it from being easily destroyed. This creates a ramp that allows you to get on the roof and get to the entrance to your base. Now switch to the wall and place two above the external edges of the jump up. Next, select the triangle floor and add it on top of the walls. While the last piece is a wall frame that will hold your next door. After that, you need to place two walls respectively to the right and in front of that door. Cover this room with a ceiling and add a wall frame to secure it behind the double door. To complete the first expansion, you will need to gather 675 wood, 600 stone, 20 scrap, 1015 metal fragments, and you will need 3 small boxes you picked up previously. Select the wall frame and place them on all sides of the square floor, between the entrance door and the ramp. Cover this room with a floor as its ceiling and upgrade everything to stone. Craft 3 sheet metal double doors and 3 key locks. Add them all to the frames you just created. This room is just a central airlock that will connect the core with all the future expansion sections of your base. Now go inside the airlock and get in the room above your TC. From the Items tab, craft a barbecue, a repair bench, a large wood box, and a research table. Keep in mind that some items will require you to get close to a workbench level 1 that you have in your TC room. Once done, start by placing the research table using snapping. Attach it to both walls. Underneath you can place a large wood box. Before placing the barbecue, you have to remove the door leading to the jump down. Also, you have to place it manually because using snapping will make it collide with the wall frame. Under the barbecue, you can fit 1 small wood box. Now place back the double door the way it opens toward the jump down for better navigation. Next, remove the airlock door. This will allow you to place the repair bench. Underneath, you can fit 2 small boxes. For easier positioning, you can use snapping, but it will have some issues on the door side. Finally, place back the airlock door and lock it. Personally, I use this room the following way. I keep my fresh meat inside the barbecue, ready to be cooked. In its box, I keep some extra firewood and already cooked meat supplies. Inside the research bench, I keep my scrap and the next item I want to research. While in its box, I store items I want to research and some trash I want to bring to a recycler. Then under the repair bench, I keep some of my farming tools like hatchets and pickaxes. While in the second, I tend to hold 1 stack of each repair item I would need. Before thinking about the next expansion, you need to add some honeycombs. For this reason, gather 715 wood and 4,275 stone. Go to the left side of your base where you have a door on the second floor. Here you have only 1 wall layer defending your main loot and TC. Select the triangle foundation, place 1 attached to each wall and a third one between them. After upgrading them, switch to the triangle floor and place them above the 3 foundations. Upgrade them and switch to wall. Add 1 on each side of the foundations attached to the core walls. While upgrading them, you will notice that some walls are smooth. This means that the soft side faces outwards. In this case, you have to rotate them. When both are rotated correctly, they will form a dark pattern on the corner. This is really important because the soft side is easier to break even with pickaxes and jackhammers. Finally, close off the triangle room with another wall, and after upgrading it, don't forget to rotate this wall as well. The next weak point of this base is its back that leads directly to your TC. Here you need just 1 triangle foundation. a triangle floor above it, and walls to close off this honeycomb room. Remember to rotate both walls correctly. At this point, access your main airlock and use the left door to get on top of the honeycomb array. From here, sprint jump on top of the backside you just created. From up here, you will be able to place another triangle floor that extends from the upper roof. After upgrading this one, you can place, upgrade, and rotate the two walls from the ground level. Now go back to your entrance, where you have the ramp that works by itself also as a partial honeycomb. You just need to add the wall on top of its foundation. It will be automatically converted into a triangle matching the roof. Upgrading this piece, you will notice that it has a soft side, but you should not turn it around. Otherwise, when you add your next expansion, it will become your weak spot. Don't forget to add also the wall on the other side of the ramp. Finally, it's time for the next expansion. For this, you need to gather 1400 wood and 7200 stone. Start from a triangle foundation. Attach one to the ramp and a second one to the wall. Then switch to foundation and add one along the last triangle and the second one along the wall. Attach also a ramp to the frontal side of the first foundation. This is the expansion footprint, and you have to upgrade all of it to stone. Next is time to place some walls. Place the first 3 along the 2x1 with the ramp. Using some floors, add the ceiling above. While with a wall frame, create the entrance in this area. You also can add another one in the middle for extra safety and separate the area into 2 distinct sections. Then go back to walls and add it to the last external edge that connects to the main entrance ramp. You will notice that this converts the triangle wall back into a full one. This is why previously we left the soft side exposed. Go inside the 2x1 just created and look toward the triangle foundations. Select the half wall and place one along the open passage. Switch to the triangle floor and place it on top of the triangle foundation. This will create the jump up that will allow you to reach the main airlock entrance. Upgrade it to stone and remove the half wall you used to build it. But then place another one covering the upper side of the jump up. Upgrade this one to stone and turn the soft side away from the new 2x1. As a result, whoever wants to use the jump up is forced to crouch under this floor before using it. This will play a key role to defend this weak spot in case the garage will stay open and someone would try to get deep on you. To make it even harder to navigate for intruders, add on top of the jump up a triangle floor. This will force possible intruders to even need to crouch jump, which can be challenging during fighting. At this point, select a regular wall and add it to the left from the airlock door. After that, you will need to use a window and place it on the external side of this small area. With a triangle floor, cover this window area. Then using a wall frame, finish this room layout. For the upper 2x1 floor, start with walls and place the first to separate it from the jump up. Add another 4 walls all around it, leaving only the access to the inner side open. After upgrading everything to stone, switch to floor and use them to cover the 2x1. To finish it, switch to a wall frame and add it to the entrance in this section. Next, select a half wall and add it to the left from the airlock door. Then use a triangle floor to add a jump up to the roof. Remove the half wall and upgrade the platform. Get on top of the roof and use some triangle floors in order to cover everything beside the jump up. Switch to the wall frame and from the 2x1 add it to the right side of the jump up. Close the other 2 edges with walls. Use a triangle floor and cover this triangle area. Then go back to your airlock entrance and add a wall frame to the right side from the door. If you want, you can add another wall frame also to the left side, but this is secondary. While it is really important that you add another one to divide the upper floor 2x1, for the next part of this upgrade, you need 425 wood and 600 metal fragments. Use them to craft 3 sheet metal double doors, 3 key locks, and a hitch and trough. You will need the first door to secure the ramp entrance, and it is important that the door opens outwards. Use the second to split the 2x1 into 2 sections, and this one should also open outwards. Remember that this door is secondary and will create some problems in the future. Then get on top of the jump-up platform and use the third door to separate this section from the rest. For easier navigation, the door should open toward the jump-up. Back to the inner part of the 2x1, you need to place at its end the hitch and trough, but you won't be able to do so unless you remove the problematic door. Once added, you can place back the door without any issues. Finally, it's time to get your first horse and bring it to your newly made garage. Don't go through the double door while on top of the horse. otherwise you will be kicked down, stopped, or even killed. Instead, dismount, open the inner door, hold E while looking at the horse and use the lead option. Get on top of the hitch and the same way you started, stop leading the horse. This will move it automatically close to the structure. Also, this will allow you to close the inner door behind it and protect the horse from enemy fire. To get out with the horse, you will have to lead it back outside before mounting. Another way to get in without dismounting requires you to interact with the open door. Unlock it, remove the lock, and then the door itself. Then once inside, you have to place the door back. But while the horse is in the first section, it will prevent you from adding the door. So you need to ride it toward the next area with the door open to unlock the option to place back the entrance door. After that, you can safely lead it to the trough. With the double door setup, you also can park your bike inside the first section without exposing the horse. Riding the bike inside is safer and faster because you can freely pass through the double door. To make this garage safer, you will need to farm 500 metal fragments, 20 high-quality metal, and 5 basic blueprint fragments. Use those materials in front of your workbench level 1 to craft the level 2. Using the hammer, pick up the level 1 and using snapping, place in its spot the level 2. This will allow you to research level 2 items, from where you need to unlock the garage door. You can use it to replace all double doors and massively increase the raid cost for your enemies. But each door will require not only 300 metal fragments, but also 2 gears each. The last ingredient is rare to find, making replacing all doors quite hard, unless you didn't recycle any of them during your road farm. But besides securing your core, you should replace the garage entrance as soon as possible with this door. This will allow you to freely pass through without dismounting from the horse, and will save on time previously used to lead it manually inside. Also, there is no point in replacing the inner door with a garage one because you won't be able to close it while the horse is inside. So you should keep the double door to protect your horses or remove it altogether as soon as your garage door is automated. Another reason why I don't like the inner door is because you cannot keep 2 horses inside. In fact, they always get stuck if you try to lead them out. The only safe way with 2 horses is to reverse on one, but the double door won't allow you to pass through. Another issue with having 2 horses is that when you dismount, you will always get stuck inside one of them. To prevent this, mount back and slightly tilt it toward the wall. Dismounting this way will spawn you above the horse's back and crouching will allow you to get down. Before adding new features to your base, from level 1 workbench, you will need to research the bed and the rug bear skin, while from level 2 you have to unlock the locker. After that, gather 2 sewing kits, 200 wood, 600 metal fragments, 60 cloth and 20 leather. You also will need 2 or 3 small wooden boxes you picked up at the beginning of the build. With those resources from the items tab, craft 1 bed, 1 rug bear skin and 1 locker. From the construction tab you need 2 sheet metal double doors and 2 key locks. With those items go back to the 2x1 above the garage. Separate it by the 1 door and close off from the airlock with the second. Inside the deepest half, place the bed attached to the left and back wall using snapping. Make the locker hug the other side of this room, then place the boxes between them. Complete the setup with a bear rug on the ceiling with his head toward the door. Staying under its head, check that you actually can reach 100% comfort. If this doesn't happen, pick it up and place it a little bit closer to the door. The key to reach 100% is that you have to stand up and not crouch under its head. Personally, I prefer to have a third box instead of reaching 100%. In this setup, the locker allows you to prepare for fights by hosting a full gear set, like burlap combined with wooden armor. Plus it has a spot for a backpack and your hotkey slots. For example, the best early wipe kit you can make is composed of a crossbow for faraway fights, nail gun for close-up, a set of bandages to stop bleeding, some mushrooms for quick heal and ammo for both weapons. You can prepare those kits during the night and swap them each time you get killed to not waste time and go back in action. In the first box I prefer to keep my extra weapons and ammo to refill the locker. Armor sets in the second, while the last one is used for medical supplies, food, and some spare cloth for extra bandage crafting on the fly while leaving the base. In order to finish this expansion, you need to research wood shutters and metal window bars from the level 1 workbench. Before you could do so, spend 50 wood in order to craft wooden window bars. While after researching those two, You will need 25 metal fragments and 200 wood in order to craft the wood shutters and metal window bars. Plus you need 75 wood and 200 metal fragments so you can build a double door and a key lock. With those items, reach your window above the garage jump-up passage. Based on what you got, add the wooden or metal bars to prevent enemy players from getting in by using a ladder. The wooden one has only 250 health while the metal is at 500. Plus the second cannot be damaged with fire. Cover this window with the shutters once you unlock them. This will allow you to open them only when you have to check the surroundings around your garage entrance. Don't forget to separate this shooting floor from the garage airlock with a double door. To finish this expansion, you need to secure your roof entrance to prevent intruders from getting in from there. For this reason, craft a double door and a key lock and add it to the roof door. Now you need to mirror the same setup on the left side of your base. So extend the ramp with 2 triangle foundations, 2 square one hugging the base. Close off the external side of the garage. Cover it with 2 square floor. Add the wall frame to split the garage in 2 and another one for its entrance. Add a garage door to the external one, and if you want a double door in the inner frame, connect the ramp for easy entrance with your vehicles. Seal the first floor with the last external wall. That should be rotated inwards to create the hard corner with the entrance ramp. In the last wall spot of the garage, add a half wall to create the jump-up platform. Then move the half wall to the upper side to create the narrow passage. Get to the upper floor and cover the jump-up external side. Facing the entrance, add a regular wall, while the one parallel to the garage entrance needs a window. Cover this lookout with a triangular floor, and the last wall spot is for the door frame. Secure the window with frames and shutters. Seal off this room with a double door. Isolate the 2x1 above the garage with walls and floors, while keeping the entrance to the right from the jump down. Separate the 2 rooms by a wall frame. Place in the deepest one your second bed, locker, 2 or 3 small boxes, and a bare rug. Secure the bedroom with a double door, and do the same with its airlock. Above the jump down, add a triangle floor and separate it from the rest with a wall frame. Then after placing the floor on top of the main entrance airlock door, turn around and you will notice a slight difference created by an extra triangle floor. Above it, add a ceiling and a wall to close the gap. Then add a wall to create a honeycomb there. This part is important because using the half wall now, you can add a jump-up platform, and without that wall, the platform will be destroyed removing the half wall. Now add the double door in front of the garage, jump down and reach the roof. Mirror the same door positioning of the other roof access and cover the rest with walls and a floor. Finally, finish the build adding the roof access door. Once done, switch to floor and add it above the main entrance ramp. Then place another one directly above the ramp. This will work as support for building a wall between the watchtowers. Remove the support floor to access the entrance and upgrade this protective wall to stone. Don't forget to turn it the way that the soft side faces the entrance. Before the next expansion, I suggest you to unlock the shotgun trap from the Tier 1 workbench. To make one, you will need 500 wood, 250 metal fragments, 2 gears and 2 rope. To fuel it up, you also will need to produce several handmade shells. As soon as possible, I suggest you at least to craft 3. Then get to the main entrance and turn around. Place them all pointing down on the wall above the entrance. This will kill or at least scare off any door campers. The next priority is to secure your garage entrance from intruders before you could create the automated opening and closing systems. Place the first in the corner under the jump-up platform. This will kill anybody that tries to get inside your garage. The second should hug the left wall in order to finish off any geared players that could withstand the first blast and manage to reach the horses. But keep in mind that this one will risk killing the horses as well. Instead, to fight those who were able to destroy your first trap layer, get on top of the jump up and place another trap as high as possible in the center of the wall pointing down toward the platform. Then reach the roof jump up behind the door. Underneath, place your next shotgun trap pointing toward the garage entrance. This will also kill intruders incoming from the roof. The next should be placed on the ceiling of the bedroom in the center of the bare rug. While inside the bedroom airlock, pointing toward the door leading to the roof jump up. On the center of the room, add the next shotgun. That will shoot anyone who will crouch under the roof jump up and try to reach your bedroom. To kill the one that will stand on top of the platform, add a second trap exactly above the previous one. If you keep the double door instead of changing it to a garage version, the intruders won't be able to even see this one. Between the jump up to the roof and down to the garage, place one on the ceiling pointing toward the main airlock to counter raiders going through the main door. Plus another one on the ground to hit them in case they would crouch. Mirror the same trap's placement in the mirrored side of the base. Then inside the main airlock pointing toward all three external doors, add the next traps. In the crafting room, add one on the ceiling pointing toward the airlock. Above the jump down, place one in the corner of the ceiling. Move down and underneath the platform place the next trap. While behind the last airlock door, place one on the ground. In the loot room, place it on the wall between the boxes, while the last one can be added above the first furnace. All of this will make most raiders give up, or lose all of their explosives before even reaching your loot room. And even if they can get to your TC through external honeycombs, you still keep the 2 bedrooms that you can use in order to get the base back. To make it even harder, it is time to upgrade your roof. Select the regular roof, rotate it so it will point away from you. Connect all edges in front of the roof access using them. Repeat this until all the pieces are in place. You will notice that there is a gap above the main entrance. To fix it, destroy the piece to its left and switch to the roof triangle. Placing this one will fix the hole. Do the same to the right side of the broken roof. Finally upgrade all of the just placed roof pieces to stone. Keep in mind that this process will create huge gaps between the roofs of different material types. Finally, once the upgrade is ultimated, you can safely use your roof to park minicopters. The roof will help you to catch the vehicle while leaving in midair. It also will prevent other players from stealing it because ladders cannot be placed on the inverted pieces of roof. Also, this means that raiders who want to attack your base from the roof, if they die to the shotgun traps, they could not easily try to raid you again, because probably it would be their only minicopter available. If all defenses will fail, thanks to your 2 fully equipped bedrooms, you will be able to bleed up the roof raiders and obtain their gear and copter as reward for winning. Now that you have a safe roof, it is finally time to automate some doors and add extra quality of life improvement to your base. To do so, first, you need to research the engineering workbench from your level 1. It will cost 500 wood and 100 metal fragments to build. You can place it in the airlock of one of your bedrooms. Interacting with it, you will be able to start spending scrap in order to research electrical components. The ones you will need to unlock are switch, large solar panel, small rechargeable battery, splitter, electrical branch, ceiling light, timer, door controller, HPHF sensor, root combiner, blocker and the OR switch. Next, gather 1 tech trash, 12 high-quality metal, and 850 metal fragments. Use them to craft a small rechargeable battery, 2 HPHF sensor, 1 door controller, 1 blocker, 2 electrical branches, 3 splitter, 1 large solar panel, 1 wire tool, and 1 switch. With all of this gear, reach your roof and using the inverted roof pieces, boost yourself on top of one of the entrances. Up here you have to place your solar panel facing the north or south direction. Get under the jump down and place along its wall a small battery. Go back to the solar panel and use the wiring tool to connect its electric output to the battery power in. On the wall above the battery, place 1 electric branch. Connect the battery power output to the power in of the branch. Interact with it and change the power to 6. As a result, the branch out will show 6 power and the power out 9. Now place your second branch close to the first one. Connect the first branch power out to the second power in. Configure this one to the value of 6 as well. As a result, both branches will give 6 power, while the second power out will be 3. Now move to the upper side of the jump down to the garage. Place 2 splitters to this half wall. Connect the second branch out to the first splitter and double check that its power is 6. Now connect the power out of the second branch to the other splitter and double check that it receives 3 units of power. Now place your switch between the 2 splitters. Then from the splitter that gets 3 units of power, connect one of the power outs to the power in of the switch. Go back to your garage door, and if the rounded side is outside, pick it up and place it the way that is inside instead. Now attach the door controller to your garage door. Back to the switch, connect its power out to the door controller power in. As a result now, you can turn on the switch in order to open the door and turn it off to close it. Now to automate this process, you will need to place your first HPHF sensor. Place the first on the outer wall above the garage door slightly to the right. Interact with this sensor to change its settings. Click on Authorized Players to enable it and on the Unauthorized Players to disable it. Don't forget to confirm the change by using the Set button. Back to the two splitters, from the one that receives 6 units of power, you have to connect one of its power out to the power in of the sensor. Now place a blocker on the other half wall of the jump up. From the branch that receives 3 units of power, connect its second out to the power in of the blocker. Then go back to the sensor and connect its power out to the blocker block pass-through. Finally, the power out of the blocker must be connected to the door controller close. At this point, if you enable the switch, the door will close. Then if you open it, get out and go 10 meters away from the entrance, it will automatically close again. Even if you enter inside, the sensor won't see you through the wall, and this also will close the door. As a bonus, if someone will kill you in front of the door, it also will trigger the door closure. The last piece of the puzzle is to place another sensor in the same spot. Connect the power out of the splitter that receives 6 units of power and connect it to the power in of the sensor, while its power out should be connected to the open of the door controller. Don't forget to configure the sensor enabling authorized and disabling unauthorized. This last addition makes the door automatically open when you get in front of the entrance. The only manual part of this system now is to open the door to leave the garage from inside. For security reasons, I suggest you keep it this way to prevent unintentional openings from inside. Remember that, if you don't want this system to be active, it's enough to interact with the switch, and when you are ready to use it again, you turn it back on. Before proceeding to the next system, you have to place another solar panel on top of the second roof entrance and repeat the same exact steps to automate the other garage door. The leftover power of both will be needed to build the next electrical system. So use the chapters to rewatch this segment to mirror the system correctly. Moving on, for the next electrical system you will need an OR switch, 3 HPHF sensor and 1 door controller. Reach one of the automated garage batteries, where you have to place a splitter above the jump up. Now connect the last available electrical branch out to the power in of the splitter. On the external wall above the entrance ramp, place the first sensor. In the center of the ceiling above the ramp, the second and the last one goes on the main airlock ceiling as close as possible to the crafting room door. Configure the last one to pick only authorized player signals and set its range to 2. The second one also must pick only authorized players, but the range of this one should be 10. To finish with the external one that requires the same settings, attach the door controller to the main entrance door. Reach one side garage splitters, and from the one that has 3 units of power, connect the last available power out to the just placed door controller power in. Back to the unused splitter we placed previously. Connect the first power out to the airlock sensor, the second power out to the ramp one, while the last splitter power out to the external sensor. The ramp sensor power out must be connected to the open of the entrance door controller. After that, attach the OR switch to one wall close to the door. Connect the power out of the external sensor to the input B, while the airlock sensor power out needs to go in the input A of the switch. To finish, the power out of this switch must be connected to the close of the door controller. The final result is that if you pass through the ramp, it will open the door for you, and when you reach the airlock or leave the base, it will close the door for you. The only manual part in this system requires you to open the door while leaving, and is it safer to keep it that way. To use the last bits of extra power in your grid, you have to unlock the fridge from the engineering workbench. Then craft a root combiner, an electrical branch, the fridge, 1 switch, and 3 ceiling lamps. Start by placing the root combiner on the TC room wall. Check both of your garage 6-unit splitters. One of them will have an unused out that you have to connect to the second root combiner power in. Then check the electrical branches near your 2 batteries. This will allow you to find an unused 6 units branch out. You cannot connect it directly to the root combiner. Instead, you have to place down a splitter first. Connect the free branch out to this splitter power in. Finally, connect 1 splitter power out to the TC room root combiner. Now remove the door between the airlock and the loot room. This will allow you, while snapping, to place the fridge in front of the boxes hugging to the wall. Now add the electrical branch on the TC wall. Connect the root combiner power out with the electrical branch power in. Configure it to 5. Then connect the branch out to your fridge. This will give you a huge food storage that will stop the spoiling timer. Back to the TC electrical system, add a switch to the wall. Connect the power out of the electrical branch with the power in of the switch. Place the ceiling lamp inside the loot room and connect the power out of the switch with the power in of the lamp. Now you can turn on and off your core 2x1 light. Next, check the other garage door splitters and you will find some extra unused power. Here, add another root combiner. From the 6-unit splitter, you will have one free power out slot that you have to connect to the root power 2, while the last power out of the 3-unit splitter to the root power 1. This will provide you with 3 extra power to use. Back in your TC room to the electric system, add another root combiner. Connect the just combined splitter's power out to the root power 2. Detach the other root combiner from the grid and plug it into the new root combiner. This will provide you with 11 power that now you have to plug into the electrical branch that powers the fridge and lamp. This will increase the branch power out to 6 units. Now go back to your crafting and research room, where you can add another ceiling lamp. Connect your TC lamp pass-through to the just placed one. To finish, reach the entrance ramp and on the ceiling above it, place a 3rd lamp. Then connect the crafting area lamp pass-through to the power in of the last lamp. The electricity stuff is done. Time to add your personal garden. For this, you will need to unlock from the level 1 workbench, the large planter box, and the triangle planter box. While from the engineering workbench, you need to unlock the small water catcher, water barrel, and sprinkler. Then gather 3,600 wood, 11 tarp, and 2 high-quality metal. Those resources are needed to make a hose tool, 2 large planter boxes, 6 triangle planter boxes, 1 water barrel, 1 sprinkler, and 4 small water catcher. Now place the first large planter box on top of the square foundation behind the floor entrances. Attached to its center edge, place the sprinkler and add another large planter box in front of it. On both sides, on top of the triangle floor tiles, add the triangle planter boxes. Behind one of the roof access points, place the water barrel that will hold excess water. To actually collect the water passively, place the first 2 water catchers behind the solar panels on top of the roof entrances. Connect the water out of the first to the second water in. From the second water out, connect it to the water in of the barrel. In front of the water barrel, add the 3rd water catcher. On the opposite side of the roof, add also the 4th. Connect the water barrel out to the water catcher in front of it water in. While this 3rd water catcher water out, you need to connect to the last water catcher water in. Finally, this last water out must be connected to the sprinkler. As a result, this will start the watering process for your planter boxes. Finally, you can start planting. To finish this base, unlock the mixing table or even the cooking workbench that is just a better version and place it in the empty bedroom airlock.